Welcome to the first episode of In the Garage from Red Cliffs Overland. We're with my 1981 DeLorean DMC-12, and we're going to be replacing the fuel pump today with a new modern unit from DeLorean Industries. I had been smelling a lot of fuel smells in the car, to the point where it was making me nauseous, and it was getting noticeably worse as time went on, the more I drove the car. So I did what any sensible person would do, which is buy a new gas cap first. And since the gas cap is actually right in front of the driver's seat, in front of the windshield, that caused the real problem to show its ugly teeth. When I put the new cap on, it pressurized the system and something else down the line blew. Now down the line, it's either one of the lines going to the fuel pump or the fuel pump itself. We're gonna find that out when we take it apart tonight. I'm really hoping this fixes my leak. At least I'm updating to a modern sending unit. Managed to get it all open up, so let's see. Some pretty good packaging from Delorean Industries. Get rid of all the paper. Looks like the float, possibly. This looks like the new sending unit. Some really nice packaging. Clamp and cap. Invoice, hopefully some instructions. This feels important. One of the new lines right here. That thing is beefy, let me tell you. Better than what I got in there right now. There's another one. Wow. Okay. This is going to be the sender or the pump itself. Get that out and unpackage that individually. Okay, looks like we got everything out. Anyway, all right, so looks like we have the pump. Sending and return line. I do not know which one's which, but these look pretty decent. Electronics, the float, and the cap. Let's open this guy up. Look at that. Brand new pump. I'm very excited to see what this does for my car. It looks kind of terrifying, but we'll get through it. Lay that down. All right, so we're gonna start removing things in here now. I just undid the sender plug. I'm gonna take this cap off. Worry about that later. One thing at a time. So we undid that. Just a note, I didn't even loosen this. It was already loose. Here's the boot, here's the pump. Really interested to see what that looks like. Let me get a work light going on here.
Sounds like we still got some gas in there. This boot doesn't appear to be in too bad of shape. This is not a factory style pump setup, it doesn't look like. There's no rubber hose on the bottom of this. I believe the factory one should have this connected to a hose down in there, so this is a little different. Very interesting. Now, how hard is it going to be to get these lines off is another question. The instructions say to cut those lines out. Some gas in there. There's one of them. But anything important? Ooh, that one's got some gas in it. And she's out, just like that. Fuel pump. So I originally thought this video would be helpful for DeLorean owners wanting to upgrade to the DPI kit, but as you can see, even inside of there, inside the tank, that is not a factory setup in there. If you watch some other videos, they have this little long white wand looking thing. So I guess I may have it a little easier in trying to set this thing up than others, but at least you'll know how to install it back. All right, now I'm gonna see if I can get that 10 millimeter, although it doesn't look like a 10. Out there. I'm getting too much gas on my tools. Well, this is working. Sort of sick of smelling like gas, but I guess it's a little bit necessary to get this job done. Fuel tank looks extremely clean. There's probably like a gallon or two in there, but I'm gonna go wash my hands. Okay, now we're gonna try to get these hose lines off.
Try pulling really hard.
On this?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm not attempting to unscrew anything?
Probably not. It's hard to say.
Maybe.
It's hard to say. We need to hop on the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
I knew having you come down here would help. All right, well, my neighbor came down and showed me that you just need to pull the hell out of it and it comes right off. So not as hard as I was making it out to be. All right, so pulling the old barb fitting off with a lot of pressure, got it off. I'm gonna do the same to this one, so I'll be right back. All right, so we have the new DPI fittings installed on the hose lines. Next up, I think wiring up and doing the float. I installed the float on the sender here. We're about to install this guy into the tank. So we pulled the sending unit out off camera, so we're gonna go ahead and cap off the old hole so we don't get any trash in there. So there goes the sending unit. Now we have the new pump that we're gonna stick in here. I believe they want it to go like this. Let's try this.
It will compress.
Yeah, push on the top.
Nice to have mechanics in the house.
wouldn't call myself that.
I'm kind of scared to do that. Doesn't feel very tasty. So just squish it down in there?
Yeah, it should just compress down in there. Try that.
All right, so getting the fuel pump in was a little interesting. Finding out which direction to put it is the first hard part. It helps planning ahead and knowing, but it is in. I'm gonna lock it down now. All right, so what we've determined is this little metal guy slips over the end of the wire here, pinches around this green rubber bit, and then we'll pinch this around the wire, slip it in this connector that they supplied us with. And then in theory, that'll connect up with the DPI harness. Like I said, in theory, this is a in-trial situation. So, make sure that that is going into that sleeve. Good catch. There we go. Okay, so now we have the new wiring looms all wired up. We're gonna pop them in these connectors now. So we have the pump in place, the wiring harness wired up, the ground running to my front battery because I can do that because you can't. Now we're gonna hook up the fuel line. This is kind of put this in a bad spot because now that fuel filler hose is kind of in the way. Yeah, I'm gonna rotate it. Hopefully the float's happy. So we have everything wired up, everything's tightened, the new lines are in and tucked behind this plastic thing. We're going to try to fire it up and see what happens.
Yeah, start it and we can deal with the fuel level later.